Welcome to Recharge and Recenter, a place for busy people to take time for yourself, learn simple routines of self-care, and renew your body, your mind, and your soul. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just going to go ahead and answer your question. This accent is from Brazil. I am from Brazil, South America, and I came to US in 2004 as a foreign exchange student, met my now husband. We got married in 2010, and the rest is history. And I always want to start with that because that's the question I get asked the most. Everybody look at me and they're like, you have an accent, but I can't recognize from where. Well, from Brazil. Here's my answer for you. So welcome. I hope you come back. And my name is Fernanda. I also go by Faye, making it easier for you guys. I'm a self-care entrepreneur, millennium mom. I'm married to my best friend. I am an enneagram 8, and I am a God person. God and I are friends. And also, I have no political affiliation, just getting that out of the way. Okay, just like to register that. Today, we're going to have a super fun conversation about New Year's resolution and why they don't work most of the time, self-care, and time management. So let's get started. And I'm going to go ahead and light this candle. I will talk to you guys about this candle later, but I just want to have that little bit of self-care and enjoyment while I record this. If you're watching the video, the light's not the greatest because I'm doing this from my home and not from the office. All my lighting is in the office, so just go with it, okay? If you're listening to the podcast, you're blessed. You don't get to see the dark lights. So the first thing that I want to start with is Happy New Year. And I love New Year. It's my favorite holiday of all time because I love change. If you know me at any length of time, so if you are new here, you got my whole introduction. If you are old here, if you are from the community, if you know me from even outside social media, you know that I love change. Like I had any color of hair possible. I moved it over 10 times. I've lived in many states in US and Brazil. And anyway, I love change. I had a gigantic career change at the age of 27. I was in corporate America since I was 18, and then I just dropped everything and went to be an entrepreneur. Change is my jam. Like I thrive on change, and routine is it drives me crazy. It's misery, not mystery. So New Year's is an opportunity for us to just change without having to give an excuse for everybody. Like in a plain Tuesday, decide to go vegan. Everybody wonders about, it happened to me all the time. When I want to change something, cut my bangs and my hair short and dye it black, and I get home and my husband think, what's going on with you? I just want to change. So New Year's Eve, nobody asked, why do you want to change? Why do you want to stop drinking? Why do you want to eat Whole30? Why do you want to exercise every day if you never did for the past 37 years? Nobody questioned that. They just go with the flow. New Year resolutions, right? So I love New Year's. I'm the kind of person that I take it the last week of New Year's and I just think about all the things that happened the year before and everything that I want to do next year and make the plans and all that, okay? But all throughout the years, I found the same issue that 99% of people find. By the third week of the year, all your goals are down to zero. You are no longer working out. The carrots become cake and you moved on with your life, right? So I am something that I didn't tell you in the introduction. I am obsessed with personal development. And I've read many, many books on personal development. And what I came to find out, not just by reading, but by applying in my life, is the problem that we have with New Year's resolution is that we try to change something from outside in. So we try to lose weight, like we never worked out, we hate working out, whatever your situation is. And then you say, okay, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to wake up every day, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just going to run for an hour. Like we never done anything in our life. Like I barely ever did PE class. And then if I want to do that one day, just wake up and say, okay, now I'm going to run a marathon, I will die. So we forget that. And we think that, oh, I'm just going to do it because if I put my mind on it, I can do it. Or I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength, or whatever, how you feel. And you just say, I'm going to do it. And then we try to do those things outside in as if it's a struggle and a suffering, like I'm going to do it and I'm going to starve myself to death. And the best one, I'm going to be patient and not scream at my kids. And then that kid decide to get a whole bag of popcorn and turn on your carpet and step on, so it's like stuck everywhere there, and then you look at it and you're like, my New Year's resolution is not scream at this child. So we try with the outside strength instead of really going into our hearts and first finding out why we do even want to do that. Like, why do we want to lose the pounds, or why do we want to work out, or whatever? And second, why do we act the way we act? So I have, for the past, I'm 35, so for the past 15 years, I have navigating to my relationship with food. So when I was about 21, I went vegan, and I was vegan for like 8. I was vegan for less, but then I was a pescatarian, so I would eat mainly vegan, but fish. And for about 8 years, 9 years. Anyway, and then about the age of 30, I start eating a little bit of meat. And then, but I went back and forth. Last year, I did several months in the autoimmune protocol, which was amazing. And now I'm kind of navigating through Whole30, which has more foods than the autoimmune protocol, but it's a little bit similar. So I've been navigating into the food fight for quite a while now. And so I'm going to give that example because not only I have a lot of experience on that, but I know that a lot of people struggle with trying to eat the healthiest possible, right? Like even if you just do a little bit better than what you're doing now, everybody wants to eat a little bit better. So this is an example that everybody can kind of relate with. But when we are trying, let's say we decide to do a New Year's resolution and we are going to eat Whole30, for example. You choose a diet, you say, I'm going to eat this diet, whatever it is. You are doing it with your outside power. So we usually put a schedule in, and if we have stuff in the pantry, we say, I'm just going to keep it in here because I am going to do it. Nothing is going to get in my way. And then we have that schedule. And if we are hungry in between, we don't listen to our body. We just do whatever like we were planning to do, and that's it. The problem with this is that it's so exhausting because it's using so much of our energy and it's fighting our subconscious. And a lot of people don't like that word because it's kind of scary, but if you prefer, you can call it your mind, your soul, whatever word makes it easier for you. But the problem that we need to face is that everything we do, the food we eat, how much we move our bodies, how we treat our kids, how we treat our spouse, how we treat the people in the street, how we tip servers, how we do our work, how we dress, everything we do is because our mind is kind of directing us to do that thing that way. So a little part of our mind is our conscious mind, that where we can actually make the decision. The big part's our subconscious mind, which is there because of experiences we had in the past. So a lot of things that we have in the past kind of tattoo that message on our brain, and then we always act in a certain way because we have that message. And the scary thing about subconscious mind, which this is like a whole world. I could do like 100 episodes on this, but I'm trying to make it really short because I know not everybody like that, and I don't want to bore you to death. But the problem of the subconscious mind is that even things that our like past generations did is passed down to us, both like science, genetics, and by habits. So that's why we usually eat whatever our family eat, and it's so hard to break that chain of like, my family is huge meat eaters, and then I became vegan, and it was like a big effort, to break that chain. When I was no longer vegan, everybody celebrated with me. So to just break away from that costume, that culture, that thing that your subconscious is used to do is so hard. So if you never worked out and then you decide your New Year's resolution, you're going to work out every day, and you just say, I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it. I'm sorry, but in 3 weeks, you're going to be exhausted, and you're going to be wanting to scream at somebody, and you're so hungry in your mental health, and you got your period, and that is just going to go down the drain. Okay. So how I found that it works for me, and I am not like all stars, all my resolutions are ticked person, but there is a way that worked it for me, which is boring, but it does work. It's really sit down with my thoughts, and that's why I said, and a candle, and just think about like, why do I act this way? Like, why do I feel like I need to eat spaghetti every night and I have allergy to wheat? Like, that is not a good match. Well, my family is Italian, and I grew up eating spaghetti every single day, and it was the most delicious thing. So of course I want to eat spaghetti now, but I'm getting to an age where the body is starting to develop all kinds of issues. You sleep with the wrong pillow and you can't walk for 3 days. And now my body decides spaghetti doesn't work very well for it. Okay. And now I have to change this, God knows, 20 generations of Italians that have been eating spaghetti, right? So we have to understand why we do things that we do. And then we have to be gracious with ourselves and make that change inside out. And that's the only way we are going to make that change long term. Okay. Understanding that not eating spaghetti, it makes me feel better. It will make me not want to eat spaghetti versus I can't eat spaghetti because I got to lose weight. Okay. So this is like a long process, and it took me a long time to understand, but that's why our New Year's resolution don't work, because we are trying to force that change down in our life, and we need to make that change in our hearts first, to make that decision. I do want to feel healthier. I do want to have more. So one thing for me in the workout, I've been working out since last year. So 1 year now, but I did not push very hard. I was working out like 4 days a week, but very mild, barely breaking a sweat. So this year I said, I need to get, what is the word? Resistancy. Not for working out, I really don't care. But I have 3 kids. My youngest is 3 years old. And if I take him anywhere, I'm out of breath. So I need to have resistance so I can go in public with my children. Okay, it's a survival thing. So working out for me, it's no longer I need to lose 10 pounds. Right now, I really don't care about the pounds. I'm more worried about taking my kids in public and not having breath in my lungs because my 3-year-old is running like a lunatic. So that is what is going to make me change inside and out. That's what is going to make me jump on a treadmill at 5:45 in the morning when all I want to do and light up a candle and get a cup of coffee and journal about my feelings, okay? So, or go back to bed, right, under my blanket. So I'm just going to leave it there with the New Year's resolution. And I want you to think about and give yourself grace and look back at your New Year's resolutions and say, okay, what am I trying to just push the change down my throat. And how could I do this change a little bit more gracious from inside out? And then that brings us to another point, which I said we're going to talk about 3 things, right? New Year's resolution, self-care, and time management. That brings us to another point. When we do those, any type of change in our life, they have to become a self-care practice. They have to become a practice. And as much as I do not like a routine, there is some things that if we do not implement a routine, especially when we are talking about self-care practices, we tend to not do them because we're busy. Many of you have kids and jobs and businesses and careers and college degrees and kids and more kids and more kids and husbands and parents, whatever, where you are. I'm sure you have a lot going on in your life. And the last thing you worry about doing is taking care of yourself, because that's the great majority of us. And that's the biggest mistake, because, and I hear that all the time, like self-care is selfish. Self-care is an idol. Self-care, blah, blah, blah. That's a lie to pit of hell, because the truth is that if we don't give ourselves, like if we don't feel our soul with love, joy, and patience and peace, how is this going to overflow from our hearts so we can pour that overflowing into our kids and our family and our friends and our community? And how are we going to overflow out of nothing? So good that I am not on that phase anymore, but I have a lot of friends who are on the newborn phase, and I've been there 3 times, so I know how it is when you don't sleep at night, when you're awake all night with the kids. Now, my youngest is 3, so usually if I'm awake at night, it's because somebody's sick, and usually don't last more than a couple days. But back on the newborn ages, like we would go 3 months without sleeping, right? And I would get extreme anxious and stressed and overwhelmed because I haven't had any sleep for the past 3 months, and anything is exhausting, and I had no patience. How am I supposed to pour out to my kids, to my husband, to my community? How am I supposed to be a good worker and create at my job, at my business? How am I supposed to add value to society if I did not even get enough sleep to stay awake, and then I'm drinking 75 cups of coffee a day that dehydrates me but makes my eyes stay open? You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing goes into a snowball of anxiety. And then I go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, well, you have 3 kids and a business. You just need to take this handful of pills here to chill you down a little bit. So it just goes into a big snowball. And like I said, I've been there, 3 kids. And it's okay. Sometimes you do what you have to do in a case of emergency, okay? But that cannot be how we're going to live our life forever. That newborn stage is going to pass, and you need to go to bed. At some point, you're going to need to put your 8 hours down to sleep, okay? But we get in such a routine and so used to not taking care of ourselves, not sleeping enough, not going to get our hair done. And today's a terrible day because I just washed my hair and went out with the free flowing, so it's super hippie today, but I'm kind of hippie anyway. But we go without, like, I went times that I didn't dye my hair, and I have a lot of white hair, so it would be like this much of white, and I am on my 30s, okay? And I'm like, no, I need to do something about this. Like, we'll go so much time without taking care of ourselves. And for some of you, dyeing your hair is not important. You may don't care about that. And there are things that I don't care about that I don't do, right? Not everything is important to everybody, but it's important for us to find what's important for us. That is terrible. phrase, but I'm foreign, so we're just going to go with it. It's important for you to understand what is important for you, what is going to fill your heart with the right emotions to overflow that emotion, and you can add value to people around you and everywhere. Okay, so next time that you think self-care is selfish, or somebody tells you that, or anything on that guilt, mom guilt, dad guilt, because a lot of dads are way more involved. I was talking to my husband, and I was like, this generation of dads is so involved with the family, and I love it. I love that my husband's super involved with our kids and take them, play with them on the floor more than I do, and take them to do sports and to do things. And this generation of dads is so involved, and they go through the same thing. Like, my husband feels bad if our kids have a lazy day and watch a couple movies, and he's like, the kids been on TV for 3 hours. And I'm like, it's Sunday. We've been traveling for 2 weeks everywhere during Christmas, New Year's. I think they can relax for a day before they start school. But it makes us feel guilty, because it's almost like we have to be living this perfect Pinterest life at all times. And that's a lie. You need to stop and go to sleep and get your full 8 hours before you can do anything. And some people don't need 8 hours. My husband does perfectly with like 6.5, 7 hours. I need 8, 9, ideal 9, but I can get by with 8. It depends on your body, but you need to listen to your body, right? If you're doing 4 hours of sleep a night, chances are they are pushing. So we need to do that self-care. But then we go to the third point. Sorry, I forgot to turn off my notifications. We go to the third point, which is time management, because we're all busy and we got no time. How we're going to work out and read and work 8 to 12 hours a day and pack 3 lunches for, I mean, just packing kids and getting them ready for school, it's like another full-time job. Picking up kids, taking them to all their activities, working all day, creating new things, and blah, 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 blah. Like, how are we going to do all this and still have time for self-care? Like, when the day's over at 11:30, you sit on the couch and you start scrolling on your phone and you're like, I didn't even take a shower yet, right? So that's where I'm going to kind of share with you the time management way that I do with my time. If you don't know me and if you're new here, I forgot to kind of tell you everything that I do, but I have 3 kids, a 8, a 5, and a 3-year-old. I'm married. My husband works 50% of the time out, like traveling. And so he travels a lot, but he's also 50% of the time working from home. So it's kind of here and there, right? And I own a manufacturing company. I own Eden Daily Essentials. We make all of our products here at the town that I live in, Terre Haute, Indiana. We make all of our products. We make the cold process soap. We make candles, this candle here. We make lotions, we make face care products, and then we send it all over the place. Like, we ship to all 50 states. We are on several platforms. We are on Amazon. We are on over 25 stores, wholesale here in the United States. We are in stores in France. We just closed a contract with a company in Hong Kong to distribute our products to South Asia. Like, there is a lot going on for business. And I found this company and I am a CEO of it. We have a very small team and I do a lot of the work. So I am busy at work all the time. I work at home. I work after I put the kids to bed. And also I have a life that I'm trying to manage. My parents live in Florida. I live in Indiana. So it's not like that easy for me to drop kids off or anything like that. So I had to figure it out a time management way that would work for me in this super busy life and still give me the time to sit back and have self-care, because I would not want to come in here and talk about something that I was not doing myself. Okay. So I have a self-care business, and then I am thinking, do I even do the example of what I'm telling everybody to do, right? So I had to find the time management system that works for me. So this is big, and I can do another podcast episode just on that. If that's something you guys want to hear, connect with me on Instagram at Eden Daily Essentials and send me a DM and let me know if you want to hear about time management. I can do something more detail on that, but today I'm just going to give you a very short way that I do. So what I do is every week I get a calendar and I write down the things that I have to do, the times that I have to get the kids ready for school, the time that I had to get the kids off the bus or pick up the young one at a preschool, the times that I have to have meetings at work because my work hours are pretty flexible, but I have several meetings that are pre-scheduled. So the times that I have those meetings, if I can do them remote or if I have to be at the office or in a certain place, the days that maybe I have events for work. So I put all the stuff that is in the calendar, doctor appointments. If I have to take, today I took one of my daughters to the dentist. So all the stuff that is pre-scheduled in the beginning before the week starts, during the weekend sometime I sit down and I mark everything down. I really like to go over the whole month in the beginning of the month, and then on the week I just add into kind of last minute things. I also do that online. So when I have work meetings, it goes automatic there, right? So once I have the time of things that I have to do, it's already scheduled, then I get the time of I write it down what I want to do. So I want to work out. I like to read. I like to read scripture. I like to have time to just relax. I like to have time to hang out with my kids, have dinner with my kids. So I'll put all those things in the calendar, and then I put my sleep time in there too. So I have kind of a map of what I'm aiming to. But I know, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you do this, you got to be relaxed about this. Okay, it looks very beautiful the day I do it, and the calendar is super full and give everybody anxiety about it. But I have a map of what I'm going to do. The problem is I have 3 kids, and this morning, my kids are going to go back to school, and one of my 3 kids woke up sick, so she couldn't go back to school. The other one had a dentist appointment. So I had to kind of change the whole thing to fit that need of that day, but that doesn't happen every day. That happens once in a while. So you will treat the exception as an exception because that's what it is. But your everyday will be kind of pre-planned, so you know which days you need to wake up at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, which days I can sleep in. So I found a workout plan. I was working out 4 times a week. I found a workout plan that is harder, but I can do only 3 times a week. So that kind of saves me time, and I work out a little bit harder on those days that I work out. You know what I'm saying? Progress is better than perfection. So how can I do a little bit of everything that I need to do, take care of myself, take care of my mental health? Because if I don't, I get severe anxiety. So I need to be on top of my mental health and give me time to breathe and chill. Yeah. I'm going to stop it here because you may have kids and little ears, and I don't want to say any words that I would not want my kids to hear. But yeah, sometimes we just need to chill. And that makes our mental health better, fills our heart, like I talked about it will spill over what you have. So if you have extreme anxiety and stress, that's you're going to spill over on your kids, on your family, on your friends, everybody. So feel yourself first. Put the mask, do you know when you're traveling in an airplane that those masks found out? Put the mask on yourself first, and then put a mask on the child by you. Yeah. So put the mask on yourself first. Get yourself some air so you can help give air to the next person. Okay. So let me see. I have some notes here. I want to take a look because I usually just go and blah, blah, blah. But I want to take a look and see if I didn't forget anything special. No, self-care is not selfish. Time management, everyday routine. So how can we do some simple things in everyday routine? One thing I do, I wake up and I wake up so thirsty every day. It was probably years of drinking and on my early years, and I'm just always thirsty in the morning. So I wake up super thirsty. I drink my water. And then the days that I work out, I jump on the treadmill, because if I don't do that first thing in the morning, I hate doing it. I hate the whole time I'm working out. But if I don't do it the first thing in the morning, then I'm not going to do it. So as I jump on the treadmill, like the first thing that I do is just be grateful and thankful about my life. Like I do my gratitude, a couple minutes. It's short. Like people say, I don't have time to do gratitude. You don't have time to just, I mean, you can do it while driving. You can do it while taking a shower. You can do it while you're on the toilet. Okay. I don't care what you're doing. Just think about things you're grateful for. Other thing that I hear, I have nothing to be grateful for. Well, you are alive. You have breath on your lungs. I'm sure there's somebody in our life that likes you, in your life, not our life, but yeah, your life. I'm sure there's something you ate recently that you like it, that you enjoy. I'm sure you have a very good smelling candle. If you don't, I can hook you up with that. And by the way, this candle that I lighted, I'm going to show you guys, but this is our hazelnut latte, and this is a limited edition for January, because me and Danielle works with us there at Eden. She's our production girl, and we talk about all those scents and all those stuff when we decide what we're going to do seasonal and limited edition and all that stuff. And we both love coffee, and we thought coffee would be ideal to start the year off with a lot of energy. Okay, so we did. You're welcome. We got a hazelnut latte candle, and it has notes of hazelnut, coffee, vanilla, and cream. It's delicious. My husband does not really care for sweet candles. He likes more like the fresh and fresh floral. And I like the sweet and woodsy. So it's a fight here in the house about which candle to light. But I had this candle going, and I was reading, and he walked in the room and he's like, oh my gosh, smells like a coffee shop here. And I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So it smells like a coffee shop. It's amazing. It's limited edition. We have a very small inventory. So if you want to get yourself one, just go ahead and get it now. Go to EdenDailyEssentials.com. I will put it in the show notes. Also, I will put it in the show notes. You can sign up, like we have a 10% coupon. So you can get that coupon, you save 10%, you get the best candle of your life. You're going to love that. Okay. So let me see what else I have here. Okay, one more thing. One very, very important thing. As we talk about the schedule, and if you've been listening to the podcast before, I've been going back and forth with how much time, like how much episodes I will put on a certain period of time. And I try to do weekly episodes and bi-weekly and monthly episodes. And I kind of try back and forth. And I found that for my schedule, and for me to be a better representation of what I'm teaching you guys, like what I'm telling you guys to do, to be mindful of your schedule, be mindful of your self-care, leave time for yourself to do things that are important for your purpose, for your life, I have to represent that. So I decided that doing a podcast once a month is ideal, because I can still show up energetically and give you guys all that I can on that topic. And I will not take time away from my kids and take time away from my own self-care to try to bring a new episode every week that may not be as rich in energy and content and all the love that I'm sending to you guys to this monthly episode. Okay, so my plan is to have an episode every first week of the month. So subscribe, stay with us. We're going to be talking about all things self-care, all things renewing your mind, your body, your soul, how to take time for yourself, all kinds of cool stuff. You can look back. We had some episodes on joy, on money management and money mindset. We had some amazing episodes. Okay. So I have so much more in my heart to share with you guys this year. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of my passion of sharing about just a beautiful, wholesome life. Like I feel like in the world, we treat our life in boxes, in like we separate them. Like, do you know when you go to the doctor and you have an arm doctor and a head doctor and a foot doctor and all kinds of different doctors? Like, we treat our life that way. We have boxes for everything. And it's just not organic. You know what I'm saying? It's not wholesome, because what happened with your hands interfere. Like, one example of that, do you know when you go to the doctor and they put a hammer on your knee and your knee moves? I never knew what that was about. So the last time I went to do my yearly checkup, I've been having a lot of hand pains on my hand for the past couple of years, and I have anxiety. I'm not gonna call it. It's not mine. I don't have it, but it's it chases me sometimes when I'm not taking time to breathe and do my self-care, do my practices, my routines, my spiritual practices, my soul practices. It chases me. I don't have it. But one thing, my arms start hurting. So I went to the doctor. She did that thing on my knee, and she asked me, did the tip of your fingers got numb? And I said, yes. How do you know that? She said that one of the tests is if you have carpal tunnel. And if you have carpal tunnel, the tip of your fingers will get numb when she hits your knees. So that's how our body is connected. Okay. If you look at anything like acupuncture and chiropractic and all those things, like, you're gonna see how sometimes you have a headache, but the muscle that is being pulled is your sciatic. And like, our body is all connected, and that's how life is. Like, our body, our soul, our spirit, everything is all connected, and we cannot be doing great in one area and terrible in another, because that's not the balance of life. Like, we can, but we're not going to feel happy even in the area that we're doing good, because we are unbalanced. Okay, so that's the idea here. This is what I'm passionate about. How can we get balance and just live a wholesome life with body, mind, and spirit, the way that we were made to live, abundant and happy and full of joy and passionate. Okay, so thank you so much for being here with me, for hanging out with me. Connect with me on social media. Go to EdenDailyEssentials.com. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the places, most of the places, not all, because who has the time? But in a lot of places. Okay, you're going to find us. If you don't, you can click on the link below, contact us. We'll get you to it. And let me know what you want to hear about it, okay? I love you guys, and I am so appreciative of you guys giving me this time to talk about self-care and to help to let me pour some of those things that I walk in my own life into your heart. Okay, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day.